bear with me here. I've never shot a YouTube video before, but today we got two projects we're working on. I'm gonna try to get the M3 started, and I have to replace a coolant hose on the 540. So you're tagging along for the ride. So the first thing I'm starting out with is I'm gonna pop the hood on the M3. I'm gonna take out the spark plugs and I'm gonna put a little bit of oil down the spark plug wells. I'm not sure that this is like a certified way to start a car that's been sitting for years, but it's unseized engines for me before in like Triumph Spitfires. Isn't a Spitfire. I don't know, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. We'll see. So the engine's not seized, by the way. As far as I know, it should turn over, so I'm gonna get started on that. Yeah, that should not be like that. Jeez. I think the stud might be coming out with it. Or not at all. Who knows? Jeez. This poor car. Looks normal. Chink. Oh boy. What could possibly be going on with this? That'll work. It looks like all of these coils have been replaced with Bosch coils, so that's good. I mean, someone cared about this car at some point. Definitely made sure to torque everything. Chink. So the reason I'm doing this before getting to the 540 is because I want this oil to have a little bit of time to sit. You know, I'm not a huge expert on engines, but I want the oil to work its way into the rings and whatnot, and make sure everything's sitting how it should, so everything's not dry and scratchy when I go to turn it over. Crossing my fingers it turns over. That would be pretty anticlimactic. Now that I'm saying that's probably exactly what's going to happen. It's just going to not. Yeah, these are decently new. I think they originally come with the Bremmy coils. That's what's in all of my other BMWs at the very least. But yeah, that's good. It's promising. Something made a nest in that one. Yeah, I'd say this car's been doing a lot of sitting. Ew. Yeah, I'd say that's a 16 millimeter. Let's see if these are torqued to the factory 500 foot-pounds. Oh yes! Oh boy. That's what you like to see. Maybe taking these out might be a mistake. Hadn't quite thought about that. Whew. Straight to the helicoil department. Been there, done that. Yeah, I don't have my grabby tool to reach in there and grab them. Let me see what I can do. Magnet on a stick. Of course, it's like aluminum. Ah, there we go. Something's magnetic on it. Alright, so I don't know how much footage I lost, but I got all the spark plugs out. I'm gonna get a straw real quick. Put a little dollop of oil in each cylinder. I'm not hydrolocking the engine, don't worry, just a little tiny bit of oil. Try to loosen things up a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that real quick. And yep. Alright, didn't find a straw, but I got a little piece of hose, so I'm gonna give that a go. Get myself better situated for this endeavor. Oh boy. Now I'm the goofy one, doing goofy stuff to this poor car. Let's see. Let's get the rag ready. Maybe this wasn't such a bright idea. It seemed good in theory. But in execution, I need like 6 hands. Alright. Maybe this is where she sits. Rag will catch the excess. Thank you, Rag. Doing God's work. That's about right, right? Into the cylinder. Bloop, 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 bloop. As God intended. Again, this is a BMW factory method, I assure you. I'm gonna look back at this video and be like, wow, it really was some kind of special. I'm not really too worried about getting oil in this engine bay anyway. It just kinda is what it is at this point. Clean up a little bit once I'm done. This hasn't gone horribly so far. Better watch what I say though. Knock on wood. Knock on BMW veneer. Alright. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is put the spark plugs and coils back in. You don't need to tag along for that. I'm going to get started on the 540 after that, and we'll come back to this later. Anyway. A little more engine in this car. Oh. Well, I guess those are bad too. Excellent. Alright, so coming back to this beauty, I'm going to pull up the back seat, try to get to the fuel tank. My plan is first to get all this crap out of here, but I'm going to pull up the back seat. I'm going to take the fuel hose off the fuel pump. I'm going to put my own hose on there to an empty gas can. I'm going to jump the fuel pump relay, and I'm just going to use the fuel pump to pump all the old gas out, and then I'll top it off and crank it and see what it does. I found my first treasure. Not totally sure what it is, but it says BMW on it. It's a remote. Wonder if this has some sort of navigation? I don't know. I get the impression that it doesn't. I really don't understand how one car can be so disrespected. Oh, this is nasty. I'm gonna get something out of this. I'll catch something. Oh yeah. Oh, it's all wet. Just to give you an idea of the state of this interior. Bing. Bing. Oh, hang on, let me show you that. I mentioned the car came with a racing slick. Check out that puppy. Yeah, buddy. It's got some wires poking out. Just got one in my hand. So as far as getting to the fuel pump, from what I can tell, It's just as easy as reaching under here and pulling up. You do that on both sides. Ugh. I feel like these could go straight into the trash and no one would mind. I wouldn't. That's a worm, and it's moving, it's alive. It was living in the seat. Yo, man just got beamed. I'm lost for words. Under here is the fuel pump. I think I'll give this man a better life somewhere else. Come here, buddy. You weren't made to suffer like this. Be free. All right. Oh man, I bought a gem. I bought a real specimen here. So, can't really tell if someone's been in here before. Looks like they might have. I think it's usually perforated on here. Sorry. Alright, so it's 4 Phillips screwdriver, and I am hoping it's a hose clamp on the pump itself. I'm not sure if the factory clamp is a permanent sort of BMW clamp. If you've worked on these, you know what I'm talking about. But so we'll see when we get in there. I think this may suggest that one of the seat functions don't work properly. Maybe that's just me, but probably not supposed to be that way. Yeah, so I'd say this looks original. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, so it's got one of the permanent BMW clamps on it, if you can see in this absolutely atrocious spot. Alright, so I do believe this to be the fuel pump. There's one sender on one side that pumps fuel to the other side of the tank, and then the pump is on the other side of the tank. So this should be the fuel hose. Find a hose with a similar inner diameter, run it out of the car, jump the fuel pump relay, and give it power. Yo, look at this dude. Get a load of this guy. It's my Beamer bro. He likes Beamers. Bye. Nice seeing you. Okay, so I successfully broke this loose with a pair of jeweler pliers. Just working it the rest of the way off of there. Once it gave up pretty easy. Can't imagine why. Oh, just saw fuel come out. Shouldn't be any pressure on the system. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't care. Well, I do. I don't want to spray fuel. The ignition hadn't been switched for a very long time though. Yeah, no, if there's pressure on it, it'll be blowing out right now. Kind of like that. Yeah. So I found a piece of hose, fuel rated hose that squeezed on there pretty good. Shouldn't leak, but we'll see. So just gonna run this to a fuel can. I'll be back when I jump the relay, and then we'll turn the ignition over and, well, not turn the engine over, but just turn the ignition on and see if it pumps fuel out. So I hooked up some jumpers straight to the battery instead of jumping the relay, because the relay would only give me like 2 or 3 seconds of pumping fuel, but fuel pump is currently pumping fuel out into this fuel can, so we'll see how much fuel comes out of it. Doesn't look too bad for fuel that's been sitting. It might not be too bad, but we'll see. Better to have it out than in. Okay, so when I put the key in the ignition, the fuel pump wouldn't pump. None of the accessories would come on. If I turned it to start it, I would hear the starter solenoid tick, but nothing would crank or anything. Um, but I think I have deduced that the ignition switch is faulty. And the reason I believe that, if I would just turn it on like this, nothing lights up, no dash lights, nothing. If I turn the key just for an instant, you see the lights come on, just that little bit there. Fuel pump just pumped just for a second. I've still got it going into the fuel can. So if I hold the key in just the right position, everything lights up like it should. And the fuel pump pumps, primes. Look at that. So I'll have to pull the ignition switch out, and I'll have to clean everything up, see what's going on there. And I don't think I'll get to that tonight. I'll probably come back this weekend. But when I get to that, I will definitely upload a video of my adventures there. So, yeah, progress. Hopefully I'll get this thing started within a week. That's my deadline I'll put on myself. Anyway, thank you.